Video is primarily about using tools that you have access to create things. It involves a firearms subject, the anvil of a primer, but that's just simply something I was trying to draw. On the internet, I cannot find a properly made 3D or 2D representation of any of the parts for a firearms primer that uses an anvil that has 3 points on it, like you can see in the upper left. So I have to draw one. Well, I started measuring it. I found out that this circle within which the anvil of this primer exists was 377 pixels across in the image I grabbed. I noticed it had 3 points on it, so I grabbed a random triangle. It doesn't matter which one as long as you grab a triangle, so I could get the 3 points marked out. And then I removed as much of the triangle as possible. I determined that the circle here and here, I just went for the easiest shape, was about 128 pixels, so I just used that. And I also noticed that these lobes here, if I measured them, the rounded edges, seemed to be about a 64 pixel across circle that you could draw over it that would work. So I decided to just use 64 pixels as that would be close enough. So now I have my starting point for my template. I then took the larger circles and put it at what were the points for the triangle. I wanted to line it up to where it was centered here and would point towards the center of the big circle. You have to kind of eyeball it, or you can draw straight lines from the dead center if you want to, but I just did it eyeball because I'm just doing this for a non-critical activity. Now, you might be wondering, how do I make all of these connect? One of the peculiarities in Paint, yes, I'm using Microsoft Paint from Windows XP, because I can import that into Windows 7 and above, is if you use the color that you use to draw the circles, if you dump it between them and you make sure there are no gaps, you can go like this, and then finally do that, and you create this kind of template with a third color, I use bright red, to where you now have created the mask to remove everything. If you look here really closely, and we will do that, it's burning into the rest of it, and we've been able to remove most of what we don't want. Now after that, we just draw a black dot here, here, and all the spaces in between, and it fuses them together like that. And we've made literally an anvil. I mean, it's a good approximation. It'll work for an illustration. And honestly, I'm very happy with it. But we have to use the third color. We have to do this tactically. We have to do this just precise enough that we make all the circles touch. And we can make a reasonably complex set of patterns. And we can do this in such a way that we end up making it look and act about the same. Now, this absolutely brings up some interesting commentary on the engineering and design of building or punching out these anvils. These are made by having brass, aluminum bronze, or copper sheets brought in, and they're punched out. The thing around it, by the way, is a cup that's done by making a circle and then pressing it into the shape of a small cup, literally like they do when they make soda cans. But these pieces here obviously have a higher waste content. I mean, they're punching pieces out. But how would they make the device for punching it? Well, in case you didn't notice, I just drew it. Basically, to make that shape, someone sat down and made a very carefully made punch that would punch out this shape, and a negative punch, or the red part, for it to shoot into, probably doing exactly this shape. It would have been based on a piece of metal bar stock like this, and it would have been based on drilling a hole and having another hole pattern to draw each of the interference cuts. And then they were combined together into this shape for punching out the pieces, and this red shape for the negative image of it at the mechanical company that punched these pieces out. And then it would have also probably stretched and formed them into the other third dimension that I'm not showing here. Anyway, I just wanted to show you all how I did this because I have to figure out how to do this sort of stuff by literally just having experience doing this. If this has been helpful to you, that's good. If it hasn't, I apologize. Next, obviously, I'm going to use this to make a 3D representation in some sort of 3D editor. In my case, Unreal Engine version 2 or 3 or whatever. But this is the starting point. It's kind of something you have to figure out how to do. And this is an example of subtractive and additive processes used to make these things. And that's literally how they make them. They just engineer them this way. They beat on the design until they get it. So yeah, somebody started off with a piece of metal, drilled a bunch of holes in it, and probably just played connect the dots by, whatever, and was able to create this. And yes, this is the negative drill hole pattern that would be used to make a positive like that. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And if you have comments on exactly how it was done after that point, please post it below. Bye.